Do you think it's insecure if a guy would not want to date a woman who's involved with OnlyFans or porn or sex work? Do you think it's an insecurity that the man has? Starting with you, go around.
I wouldn't say he's insecure. I just think everybody's different. You know, each person has their own preference. I mean,
okay.
I do think it takes a very secure man, though, to be with a girl who has an OnlyFans.
It's true.
It's like pretending
I
she
don't know.
ain't there.
I think if there is a guy and he likes you, even if you get an OnlyFans or do something like porn or something, but he likes you, he will be with you. He will be dating you.
How early into the relationship are you revealing you have an OnlyFans?
Huh? Say it again, please.
Like, so.
Do you tell them right
like
away
if,
that you have an
are
OnlyFans?
you like?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
But for a lot of guys, well, I kind of want to let everybody answer. So, but you think that if he really likes you, he'll accept it? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because there is a reason why you do this OnlyFans. You know, as a girl, you have a reason why you do it. So if you tell him the reason why you do it and he agree with you, why not?
What's the reason?
My own reason? You want to hear
Is it for money?
The reason was that I was in my country.
Okay.
No, I was with no money.
Okay.
I was no one. And I wanted left my country. So I started doing OnlyFans. Then one agency with a box agency in my country invited me to the box. And I showed my boobs after a fight. It goes viral, you know. I started to earn a lot of money. I started to earn a lot of money, so I decided to
Titty
move.
boxing? What's it called? Titty boxing?
No, it's
okay.
it's a real boxing agency, you know. But I did.
Okay, so you boxed and you wanted to come here and
yeah. So
you've been here for 3 years, so you're here. So now it's for money.
No, listen.
It's still for boxing.
You want to go to Sweden next? Where are you trying to go? You trying to go to Norway? Where are you going? Huh? Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Can you listen?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was in a little village in eastern Slovakia.
Yeah, it sucked. You wanted to come here. I get it.
I started to earn money, and now
Yep.
I can live here with money, and I just enjoy my life, and
Okay,
I do
but
whatever
you're
I
here.
want to do.
You're here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here now.
So, I guess we understand why you originally got into it.
Yeah.
But it's not clear to me if the reasons with like, for example, let's say you were in let's say you got arrested for drug dealing, and you told the judge, you told the jury, whatever, well, I had a really rough upbringing and I was very poor and I wanted to leave the inner city. I wanted to go to California.
It's different to be a drug dealer and be an OnlyFans.
But the reasons don't really, like, there's still the negative consequences of what you're doing. So the reasons are kind of irrelevant.
I don't take it like it's negative, you know? For me, it saved my life. I'm so grateful.
Okay, so
I'm grateful for that job.
Let me put it to you like this. That's cool. Let me put it to you like this, though. I would argue for most men, dating a woman who does sex work, OnlyFans, whatever kind of sex work, OnlyFans, it is a suboptimal dating choice.
Meaning that it's not his first
suboptimal.
choice. He does. Average guy doesn't really want a girl who does OnlyFans.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
You're right.
There's
Average
no
guys.
pro. There's
Yeah,
no
that's right.
pro when it comes to dating a woman who does sex work. For some guys, it might be just a neutral.
Yeah.
Even that I question. For most men, it's going to be a negative. A very
she can
strong
make a lot of
negative.
money. Like they could have a lot of time
Women,
together. I mean,
here,
there's a lot of
who
freedom.
should pay on the
but
first date? Who should pay on the first date?
Who should pay on the first date?
Who should pay on the first date?
A man.
Who
If a
should
man
pay-
asks.
Should a man be a provider?
Yes.
Should a man be a provider? Your money is irrelevant.
My money's mine.
Great, but you just.
What do you mean? Like, then it's my money.
Hold on, you just made the argument that, well, she makes a lot of money, therefore that will be to some benefit to the man. But the fact of the matter is, women don't share their resources with men.
I think some women do. I'm sure she probably.
You just said you want men to pay on the
share
first
my
date,
money
so
with
even
my-
from the jump, you guys don't share your resources with men.
Grid
So,
One Motorsports
I'll come back to
donated
that.
$200.
Thank you, Grid One, man. Appreciate
Only
it.
simps date OnlyFans girls. It is an L for a man to have his woman available for public consumption. Calling men insecure for not wanting a sex worker GF is lying to yourself. Stop it, be better.
So look, the reality is, thank you, Grid One, appreciate it. When it comes to the money, right? The reality is that's why men aren't, quite frankly, are not interested in your career, your education, your success, your ambition, your, did I say status? Whatever, your money, because you guys we don't reap any sort of benefit from it. And then just on an evolutionary, from an evolutionary biological level, we don't even find it attractive on that level. But on a purely practical level, girls don't pay for first dates. Girls don't take us on trips. So we don't give a fuck about it. It's good for you.
A lot of girls do. A lot of girls do. I think a lot of...
There's some OnlyFans women who do it to compensate for this deficiency.
Even before doing like OnlyFans, I still like to take care of my man.
You just said you want a provider.
Yeah, I would want a provider. I would like my man to pay for, primarily like most things. But do I want to take us on vacation? Do I want to, hey, you want some nice things for Christmas?
When you say take him on vacation, do you mean pay for your half?
No.
And he pays for his?
No, I would pay for us to go on vacation.
Thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's cool. Most women who make good money don't even do that.
Yeah, I mean...
The relationship should be 50-50, I think.
I don't believe in that necessarily, but I think you're referring to the top percentage of men who can afford to financially take care of their wives and their family. I mean, your husband must make great money. Like in this economy, just to you don't contribute anything to a relationship, it's kind of unrealistic. Like I do think...
She lives in Arizona as well. Like for example, I was at my hotel and I had something to eat when I flew in and I was just shocked, like, oh my, this is almost nothing. Because Las Vegas is extremely expensive, but most of America, they can live simple lives, right? Mm-hmm. Like Arizona is reasonably low cost, especially if you don't live in Scottsdale or like next to a golf course. And so I think we overestimate what it costs to actually live. But the worst part about it is that we want to live beyond our means. Not everyone is meant to drive a luxury car, and we have to accept that. That's one of the sicknesses in the society. That's why earlier I said I respect janitors. I respect working men who go to work and toil and earn on an hourly basis. And they can provide a life for you if you're willing to accept that the greatest value in your life is your family, as opposed to going to Mykonos and turning up in Tulum. And the problem is too many chicks want to go turn up in Tulum. And that's precisely why a guy like me, if I were trying to be a savage, I could be, because there's not a lot of guys who can, be in his position and say, oh, all you guys want to go to Tulum? Pack your bags, we're going tomorrow, right? And they'll do it. They'll pack their bags. So the problem is not accepting what is meant for you and wanting too much.
How do you know that that's what's meant for everyone? I do think some women are, meant to be, traditional home, like mothers and traditional wives.
It sounds like all of you said you want to be that.
And I do think she enjoys...
Yeah. Just later.
I think later. But I would still want to, I've had dreams of like having a coffee shop. I would like to
the entire
do something
show's
like
not
that.
about you, so...
Okay, is anyone else talking? I don't even know why you need to be rude about it. We were having a conversation with each other.
I know, but I was going around the table asking a question, and I want to get fully around the table so everybody has an opportunity.
I feel like you need to be rude about it, but...
But you, to be fair, you have kind of dominated the conversation.
And so has he. But I mean, you didn't tell him anything. But.
Well, I interrupted this back and forth.
I know, but you only told me.
But remember, there's all women as one.
You know what? We could have already continued on with the conversation.
And we could have, and let's do it.
Okay, so the question was, do you think it's insecure if a guy does not want to date a woman who does sex work or OnlyFans?
I think it depends on the kind of sex work. Like if it's porn and the girl is having multiple scenes with different people, then that's different than a girl that's selling provocative images, and that's different than a girl that's done sex tapes with someone. Even if it was a partner. But
sure, I agree with you that there's degrees to it. For example, a girl who's selling tasteful lingerie photos, that's not as bad as a girl who's having sex with other men, and that's not as bad as a street prostitute. I agree with you that there's degrees to it.
I don't think it makes you insecure to not want to. Honestly, it's preference.
That's fair. What about you?
No.
Wait, hold on. You were...
I'm talking too much. You can go.
You were the one arguing that it was insecure. Okay,
no, I wasn't. I didn't say it was insecure. No, I agree. I don't think it's insecure. No, we were talking about something else. Like I think it's completely fair if a man doesn't want to be with a woman who does OnlyFans. Like,
but I thought you said it was insecure.
No, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure that.
No, she was saying it was insecure.
Wait.
No, I'm pretty sure the reason. Okay, fine. What about you?
I didn't.
Okay,
we can play it back. Okay. I'll have my girl record this and I'll send you the video. I did not say that.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's do a timestamp.
Go ahead.
Anyone have that timestamp? Send it.
What about you?
I don't think that's insecure. I just think that it might not line up with their morals and their values, because different men have different morals and values.
Okay.
And whether it be that. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think it's insecure. I think it's a boundary.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's not insecure. If someone is dating an OnlyFans model, it means that they don't really have much self-worth in themselves if they allow their wife or girlfriend to be doing that. I think if they're a high-value man or some... Oh, sorry. I think if they're a high-value man, then they would want a high-value woman who's not only just traditional and has good morals, but is also virtuous. I think there's that too as well, which is why your past does actually matter, but you can change from it, and I believe in that, as long as you stick to it.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
I don't want to act like her. No, I'm messing with you. Are you saying that a woman cannot be a high value woman and be an OnlyFans woman?
Well, okay. Depending to the degree of it, she can, I guess. In this day and age, so many women are doing that they could come out of it as long as they stuck to a certain faith or moral, whether that's a religion or they just.
I'm saying while she's an OnlyFans girl.
Yeah, no.
No. Okay.
Isabella?
Okay, I do not think it's insecure for a man to not want to be with an OnlyFans girl. I think that a woman reflects her man, and as we all agreed, even though some of you do OnlyFans, you guys did say that maybe I don't want my family seeing this. It's obviously not a respectable career choice, so it reflects on the man because everyone else can see what is supposed to be his, and I really do believe that. So, and I also think that it takes a pretty emasculated man to be okay with that. Sharing his woman's body, even if it's just
not
via
sharing,
picture.
it's just images, you know.
Renting out.
But everyone can see what
pay-per-view. It's
wake
different.
Up in the morning, took a pics, and that's it. That's not. I'm sharing my body. I'm sharing my body only with my boyfriend.
But also, it reflects that the man isn't providing for his woman, because why would she have to go out and make money that way if he's not providing for her?
Because maybe she wants to have her own money, you know.
And I think that shows that she's not submitted to her man.
Is there anything wrong with a woman wanting to make her own money and, wanting to enjoy, trips and wanting to enjoy nice things and, wanting to be able to, sustain herself in the case that, maybe she doesn't find a husband or it doesn't work out?
Do you need to do OnlyFans to do that?
No, but I do think you can probably make a lot more money doing that than doing a job where you're working 40 hours a week.
You know what? I actually had something. I actually had a thought on that. And I might get dragged in the chat for this, and Marquette, you might disagree with me, but it did occur to me, like, for example, and granted, I realize probably most women who start doing OnlyFans, the vast majority of them, are not going to make a crazy amount of money. Some can, some do, can make obscene amount of money, but I think probably the majority are making maybe a couple thousand a month, maybe even less.
If that, yeah.
But it does occur to me, like, let's say a girl is so extremely on OnlyFans, extremely successful on OnlyFans, she can make, working for 3 years, she makes $10 million. I mean, versus having to like do some bullshit corporate drone job for 40, 50 years and sit in a chair and look at a screen and have a boss. I mean, I can kind of see the appeal because, like, it's not clear to me if the ultimate enjoyment in life is sitting in an office for every week from 9 to 5. So, like, but what do you give up in exchange also is the question. But, like, I kind of get it. Like, I mean, and to some degree, the job that I do now is opening me up to certain difficulties and stressors and liabilities, and there's some women that don't want to date me because I have this somewhat controversial podcast and I'm out there in the public. Some women don't want to date a partner who's publicly out there, even if they're squeaky clean, which I'm not. But when it comes to the podcast, it's kind of controversial, right? So I'm making certain trade-offs, but it does occur to me that, I mean, if you're weighing working until retirement age, until you're 60, 65 as a woman in some droning corporate job, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. That's
what I'm saying.
I kind of get it. But when it comes to the woman that I would date, I do think it is a suboptimal dating choice.
I can understand
in the same way that it might be a suboptimal dating choice for a woman to date a millionaire over a billionaire, to use an extreme example.
That's fair.
But
think everything comes at a price. And I think some women, you know, I think myself, you know, starting OnlyFans, like, hey, this could be looked at in a negative way. You know, I could have this negative stigma, and there could be some men who potentially, you know, would not consider me as a partner because of what I do. And I think some women, I'm sure, you know, the women who do OnlyFans probably realize that, but the trade-off is their freedom, the money that they're making.
But it did occur
they're
to me.
being able to enjoy their lives. Maybe she's taking care of her family. Like, I don't know.
But it did occur to me, what if you made enough money in a 3-year period to basically just retire at 23? Again, I'm sure that's like most women who do OnlyFans.
Even if they made that amount of money, they wouldn't be able to utilize that outside of OnlyFans for very long. They'll be broke shortly.
You think that?
Why?
I don't think that's enough.
They'll be broke.
Because I have.
This is Red Pill guy.
Wait, are you talking?
He
Are you,
seems so good.
wait, hold on. Are you talking about lifestyle creep? Like they start making so much money that their lifestyle is going to creep, and then
that, and they're not business people.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
But it's not true.
Not at all.
Okay.
I own an OnlyFans agency, for instance.
Would
so
anyone
I
like to hear why? Or
Sure, go ahead.
I don't
But
have
I'm
to
just offended
explain.
because
Yep.
I'm like, I know, multiple girls.
So in
who
your
have-
case, it would be different because you're operating a business system rather than being a practitioner, right? So
Well, I
you
mean,
are
I'm
a
both,
practitioner,
right?
but you also operate the business system. Now, when you get really effective in operating that system, then you don't even need to be a practitioner, right?
Correct.
Just
yeah.
like he can get up and walk away and the show continues, the super chats continue. It's a business system.
Right, but when you
Now-
say that, most OnlyFans models
most
are
of them
not
will be
business
broke.
people, I'm like, that's
They're not.
not true.
They're
I
not
agree.
business
Most of
people.
them probably, but there are exceptions.
Most people, even in the most developed economy in the world, the United States of America, are not business people. There's no chance that an OnlyFans girl who makes multiple millions is going to display significantly different behavior than, say, a football player who makes many millions and ends up broke years later. Why would she do anything differently? And the football player has an agent around him, has a financial manager, and they still end up broke. Here's why. They acquired their wealth not using the mind, but using the body. It doesn't mean they don't have a mind, but often they've not developed the skills of financial literacy. And what's more, they don't know much about investing, and they don't have a business that they can push that money into such that it would grow instead of disappear, because they're going to maintain a certain lifestyle. So yes, they will inevitably become broke. And that's in the majority of cases. Now, if you guys are outliers, I very much so hope that's the case. I'd be happy for you and impressed, but it's improbable.
I went into it knowing that I wanted to be out in a few years, and I have a certain amount set aside from every single month. My lifestyle has not increased or changed with the amount of money that I've made. And yeah, I don't agree with that.
And you're speaking of your case, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and for your case, you might be an outlier in the data. You might be an anomaly, and that's very good. I'd be very happy for you, and I don't perceive you to be a very materialistic person, so maybe it's true in your case. I'm just saying what is most likely, and it's important to speak of what's most likely, because if a young lady is watching this show and she's like, oh, these OnlyFans girls are making so much money, I want to go become an OnlyFans girl, and then she does it, and now her pictures and videos are on the internet forever, and she only ended up making like $8,000 in her run, and then the money starts to taper off, then it's like, wow, you sold your future for $8,000 US, and you can never get it back.
If she only made $8,000, not that many people saw it. So I think she'll be just fine.
Here's the problem. Here's a true story.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is a true story. I hire a lot of assistant generalists for different businesses that I have. I hired a young lady in Nevada. She was a student at UNLV. I looked at her resume, seemed phenomenal. I was like, okay, great, this is a good hire. And I'd been searching for a while for someone good. I like to have good people on my team. So I hired her, and when I go live, I tell all of my folks, I say, hey, I want you to do the job that you want to do most, that's aligned with where you want to be in the world. You're an assistant generalist. I need you to generally help me make money, and whatever way makes sense to you, I want you to tell me what that is, and we're going to do that. So I had one Vietnamese assistant, one white assistant, and then this girl was Habesha, Ethiopian, East African, good looking girl. And she says, oh, I want to come on camera, right? So she said, I want to come on camera. I said, are you sure? She says, yeah. I said, well, I want you to know I'm not doing a fictional show. This is a real show. People will be watching. I'm not ultra famous, but there's enough people watching that, the truth, people can find out the truth. The internet is undefeated. She's like, yeah, no problem. I want to be on camera. I was like, all right, for sure. First time we go live, someone sends in a super chat, says, hey, don't believe her. She's just fronting. She's just pretending to be a good girl. And then I was like, look, is your life based on hating? Because I teach people to be optimistic, positive, build, don't destroy. So I tell the person who sent the super chat, like, tearing her down, does that help you? I just thought they were being like, as you said, red pill, incel kind of thinking, like jealousy because they couldn't get her kind of thing. I was like, it's silliness. We go live a couple more times. One time I'm walking into a meeting for one of my other businesses, right? I'm walking into a serious meeting, and I'm just like going through some emails, and I see an email. Guy says, hey, this is, your assistant, click this link. I see it's a pornographic link. I'm kind of like, this dude's ridiculous. I hate pornography, right? So I just like, okay, I go into my meeting, I come out of my meeting, right? And I click the link, but it wouldn't open up on my phone for some reason. I kind of forget about it. Then eventually I get on my computer later, right? I click the link, and video starts playing, and it's an East African girl. Now, mind you, I've been to Ethiopia. These people have a lot of homogeneity. They do look very much so the same, right? So I was like, oh, maybe this is just another East African girl. And just as I'm about to close the video, because I'm disgusted, I don't want to watch it, it's like an old, fat, white dude. He looked like maybe he was in his early 50s, and it was a young Ethiopian, good-looking girl, right? And just as I'm about to close it, her hand reaches out, and then I see something that is easy to remember. She wears a ring that has a cross on it, because she's Ethiopian Orthodox Christian. And as soon as I saw that ring, I was like, oh, that's her. And then she leaned forward, and then her necklace fell out, because she always wears a necklace that has a cross on it as well. And so her ring was shown when she grabs this guy's penis, and then when she was leaning down to do some other things you all are familiar with, her necklace falls out, her Christian necklace. And then at that point,
that off to making that video.
Yeah, it was crazy. But that's how they are nowadays.
Like, girl, what are you doing? Fucking with Jesus Christ.
You've met Christians like that, right? That's how they are nowadays. So anyways, the question immediately for me was, okay, now I don't mind having someone who works for me who does OnlyFans, who's a street hooker. I don't care. As long as you told me the truth at the beginning, and as long as you came on camera live with me under your true identity. So I shared this with one of my assistants, not that we gossip, but I wanted to know from a woman's perspective. Because there's some things that as men we can't relate to.
Butler donated $200. Lack of self-reflection is a common symptom of genital herpes. Most of them look like escorts ranging from very affordable to slightly above average pricing. Yet you don't notice this? #herpes symptoms.
There you go.
Look like an expensive escort.
He's a urologist.
Politicians and athletes.
He's always... did you want to...
Long story short, I asked the Vietnamese assistant, what should we do? She's like, fire that bee. Fired. I say that to say this. The girl never had an OnlyFans. I don't know how that video was created. I don't know what the context was. But she's a random girl who's a second-year student at UNLV who lost her job because of a random video that somehow was on the internet and somehow someone found it. She's not famous or successful and made $0 from that video.
Here, we will move on. We got a couple chats we got to read.